Hi and welcome back to another football shirt review. Today we are looking at the England home shirt, and this one is the player spec. So people who are a subscriber around here will have noticed that we've already done the fans version on this channel, but I also wanted to get the player one looked at as well. So this shirt was purchased from FC24Store. All details of the seller can be found in the description. Delivery time was 10 days. And that's 10 days from the point of getting the notification to say that the item had been dispatched. Really looking forward to seeing this one actually, because I really like the English shirts this year. I think they've done wonders for the World Cup. My only downside, I suppose, is it's the Nike template. But the look of them, I think, is just outstanding. So if you are new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, as I do these reviews on a weekly basis. Also leave any questions, comments, messages below, whether it's around this shirt, the seller, or any other shirts you'd like me to look at. I will always respond. So this shirt comes in the standard Nike bag. On the flip side, we have our usual health warnings. So what we'll do now is we'll get the shirt out of the bag, and we'll have an in-depth look at the England home shirt for the 2022 Qatar World Cup. So here we are at the top of the shirt, just moving around the collar line. Not so much a collar line on this one, but I do like the look of it. And for me, as just to zoom out, I love the blue, the Euro 96 blue, let's call it. Sleeves look all good, and we've got the patches on this one as well. So we have the FIFA World Cup Qatar, which has been heat pressed on. And on this side, we have the Living Football FIFA, which again has been heat pressed on. The Nike tick also heat pressed on. And that's what I think is much better about the player spec ones, is that these are heat pressed on and not stitched or embroidered. It's got a nice texture to it. I'm just going to zoom out quickly, just because, as you can also see with the fan one, you do get this pattern. The player spec, sorry, you get this pattern in there which you don't get on the fan one, which is outstanding. At the bottom, again, we have our Euro 96 blue just at the corner, which is standard across these Nike templated shirts. And we have our engineered Nike, which has also been heat pressed on, which looks really smart. I do like the pattern that's in there. I think that's fantastic actually. So let's just zoom out and we'll give you the full overview of this shirt. So details for the seller can be found in the description. So let's have a look at the back. Okay, we're on the back now. Not a lot really to call out on the back of this shirt, because as I've mentioned a few times, I don't always get names and numbers on the shirts. I prefer not to. Although being a World Cup shirt, I guess I probably could have done, just so I could have shown you what the quality was like on it. Again, really like the pattern, and just to give you an idea of how see-through the material is. Again, being a player spec one, you always expect it to be a little bit see-through. And down at the bottom, we have this dry fit ADV, which has been heat pressed on. And the hemline looks absolutely perfect. Really good. So let's just zoom out and we'll give you the full overview of the shirt. Like I said, I'm absolutely loving the colours of these England shirts this year. Okay, we're now on the inside. Straight away we'll have a look at the tag. So it says it's a size XL, but with these remakes, definitely size up. So this is more like a large, and the player ones being that additional slimmer fitting, definitely going to be tighter. I do like the move to zero, cutting out plastic, and then we have the plastic tag. I think that's a really clever thing on these remakes, and definitely a way to notice the remakes. Heat press patch, as I said, from the front, absolutely spot on, no creases. England badge again looks also just as good. Likewise does a Nike tick. Just jumping over to this patch, and again, no creases whatsoever, so you know that's been put on really well. Under the arm, looks nice. FC24Store always seem to have really top quality shirts. Here's our washing instructions, and remember, for these sort of shirts, you hand wash them only inside out. That will preserve the life of your shirt. Got some real long lasting shirts that I wear quite regularly. Stitching looks really smart. Really nice. So let's just zoom out and you get that full overview of the inside. And then we'll have one look at the back inside. For me, this is a nice touch. I really like this 3 lines. It's been heat pressed on. It looks a bit wonky, but I think that's just actually the way that I've got the shirt hanging up. I'm not always the best at putting shirts on the coat hangers. Couldn't think of the word then. Got our dry fit ADV, again heat pressed in, XL, but as I mentioned earlier, it's going to be more like the large. Stitching looks absolutely perfect. Not always a lot to call out on these sided insides, but just to give you a quick look around, I just like to show the stitching off because it just shows you how good these shirts actually are now. To be fair, sometimes they're better than the official ones. And there's your final overview. And again, I said it earlier, that gives you the full indication now of how see-through the shirt is. But I say that's to be expected with the player ones because they are so much more lightweight. So there we have it, the England home shirt for 2022 World Cup in Qatar. This shirt was purchased from FC24Store and it took 10 days to arrive. That's 10 days from delivery. The shirt itself, absolutely fantastic. Really top-notch work. Really impressed. Like I said before, FC24Store do some really nice shirts. So for me, you cannot fault them as a supplier. All the details can be found in the description of this video. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut here for a second and I'm just going to put the fans version next door to it. And there we come, we're back. So as I said, I've put the fans version next to it just so it gives you that full idea of what the shirts look like. Player spec, fan spec if you couldn't tell. Obviously you can see the pattern, so it's quite easy to tell the difference. But I thought it'd be just nice to give you that look so you can get a good view of the differences. But the focus of today's video was this one. So yeah, if you have any questions, comments or messages, please leave them below. I'll always respond, whether it's about this shirt or about the seller. I will always give you the answers. And make sure you do subscribe to my channel as I do these reviews on a weekly basis. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've now covered all the England shirts for the World Cup, both home, away, fans and players. So I hope you've enjoyed them all. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.